what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Don't you love the looks in those eyes? Coverage of today's national anthem presented by USAA. Let's go with the playoffs. Arizona, Carolina next on ESPN.
You've been watching the pregame launch. Engineered by GMC and its lineup of Denali vehicles. ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It's 52 degrees. It rained overnight and the last few hours, but I'm looking at the radar and it looks good for the next few. I think we've missed the heavy stuff. Ron Rivera, second playoff game as a head coach, lost to San Francisco after a Coach of the Year season in 2013. Other side, it's Bruce Arians, who won that award in 2012 when he filled in for the Colts' Chuck Pagano. Favorite to win Coach of the Year this season at age 62. His first NFL playoff game as a head coach. And right there with Ryan Lindley, his quarterback. 1-5 as a starter. Lost both of his starts this season. And Lindley next to Arians about to play the biggest game of his life. Veteran referee Ed Hockley got confused. You think there aren't nerves even for the vets? Kind of messed up the coin toss, but eventually they got it right. Arizona's won the toss and will receive. Start with Jared Beldier, free agent signing from the Raiders. That left tackle solidified this offensive line. Sedline is the veteran. It is backed by committee, and there's very little experience. Taylor and Williams will run at the most. That receiving core, that's the strength of this offense, and John Brown, the rookie, can get deep. Gain of 2 there. Blocking for these guys. 2 rookies. Khalil, the veteran, a bit undersized, but he settles things down, keeps them organized. We've already heard from Benjamin. Greg Olds is a Pro Bowler. He's the next guy Newton looks at. Stewart, D'Angelo Williams back active for the first time since November 30th when he broke a bone in his hand. GM vehicle at gmc.com/NFL. And Game of War. Play free now. Neighborhood around Bank of America Stadium. Folks were tailgating despite the rain. And they have settled in to watch their Panthers in the playoffs at 7-8-1. 20th year of the franchise and the 6th time Carolina has been in the postseason. Larry Fitzgerald, who had one of the great playoff runs of all time in 2008. Can he find some magic here this season? The fans yell Luke. Why is it Lindley? Because Carson Palmer, terrific start, re-injures that ACL that he tore in the playoff game about 8 years ago. So he's done. Enter Drew Stanton, playing well, but also against the Rams, he goes down with a knee injury. Some thought that Stanton might be able to play this week, but just is not ready. Bruce Arians leaving the window open if Arizona wins and advances, that maybe they can get Stanton back for the next postseason game. But it's Lindley today with rookie Logan Thomas as the backup, hurting the Cardinals in the first 6 minutes. Good field position again for Cam Newton, leading by 3, trying to find that first playoff win of his career. Well, next week, the life of 51-year-old Todd Bowles may change. Defensive coordinator in his second year for the Cardinals, going to interview for many of the vacancies for head coaches in the NFL. He's done a very good job these 2 seasons with the Cardinals defense. They rank 5th in points allowed this year, but they've given up a lot of running yards the last 2 weeks. Pass to Kelvin Benjamin on the edge to the 49. Good first down pickup against this Bowles defense. Good on the back end. A lot of injuries up front, but Calais Campbell, the Pro Bowl season, the best of the front 3. Linebacker core, they get Larry Foote, veteran of 2 Super Bowl rings with the Steelers, back in the lineup. He was gone last week. We've talked about Peterson and Cromartie. The Honey Badgers here, the one-handed, one-legged Honey Badger. Tyrann Mathieu battling injuries his first 2 years. We mentioned Arizona's the host team for the Super Bowl, also the Pro Bowl. 3 weeks from tomorrow, you'll see the best in the NFL. Chris Carter and Michael Irvin captaining the teams. Access to the locker room, wired sound of multiple players. A lot of fun to celebrate the best of the best for the season and kick off Super Bowl week in Arizona. They're good and big up front. Remember, they lost Greg Hardy for most of this season because of his off-field issues. Charles Johnson, the best pass rusher. We've told you about the tremendous inside backers, Kuechly and Davis. And good old Roman Harper is babysitting back there. He's got 2 rookies and Josh Norman. And he's brought them together here late in the season. Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator, just on fire calling stuff. 43 points allowed the last 4 games, playing to that level in this first quarter.
That's what you do when you get in trouble and you're a young quarterback. Dial number 11. A quick outside breaking route. Ball's poorly thrown. And Larry Fitzgerald takes it away from 3 Carolina Panthers to set up a 1st and goal. Great play.
After 1, Carolina 10, Arizona knocking on the door. Well, here are the stats for the first quarter and a play. Adding the touchdown from Lindley to Fells. It's an odd combination. 49 total yards, 4 first downs. Carolina has taken advantage of poor net punting. Good field position, short fields for the field goal and the touchdown on their first 2 drives. But the mistake on that Arizona 3rd punt by that man from Wofford College, Brenton Burson, gave the Cardinals some hope. And now Burson's back deep for the kick. Chandler Catanzaro, the rookie with a line drive, not returned. Carolina starts at its own 20.
Well, this offense is hard to defend. Who has the dive? Who has the quarterback and who has the pitch? And you have to make one-on-one tackles, hard thing to do. And here they pull the left guard. They read the play side defensive end. And when that end closes, Cam Newton has the option to give it. Great players in one-on-one situations usually win, but it's hard to blitz this offense, Mike, because of the threat of the option. Let's see if it continues.
ESPN's NFL Wildcard Weekend brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Universal Pictures Black Hat in theaters January 16th. NFLShop.com, gear up for the playoffs at the official store of the NFL. And Subway restaurants, try the new grilled chicken strips today. Subway, eat fresh. Going uptown, Charlotte, largest city in North Carolina. The Queen City, which is a great center of banking. And Bank of America Stadium on this overcast Saturday night. This field goal, John, his misses were great opportunities to put this thing farther out of reach.
Well, his fundamentals have not been good. He's missed throws, open receivers in the middle of the field, late, not seeing defenders, and Cam has struggled throwing the ball a lot this year, and he's had an ankle surgery, he's had a rib problem, he just got in a car wreck. I know the injuries have taken a toll on his fundamentals, but Carolina's going to need to throw the ball better to stay in this tournament.
You mentioned Olsen, John, over 1,000 yards. Only Rob Gronkowski in New England had more yards. Martellus Bennett and Jimmy Graham, the only tight ends who had more catches. So he's up there with the big names. Had such a good career in Chicago. 1st-round pick, traded here. 4 good years with the Bears, 4 good years here with the Panthers. a golden age for that position because so many tight ends play detached in that receiver spot. It's a credit to Olsen for what he's been able to do. First 10 for Carolina, the last 14 for Arizona to take the lead. It was this early mistakes by Brenton Burson trying to possess it, deflects off of him, ruled a fumble. Arizona takes advantage, starts the quarter with a touchdown pass to Fells. Third down interception thrown by Newton, 50-yard return by Cromartie. And the rookie, Marion Grice, breaks the plane for the score. Winner here doesn't know where they will go. They have to wait for the Cowboys and the Lions on Fox late tomorrow afternoon with Joe and Troy. If Dallas ends up winning that game, then the winner here is Seattle bound on Saturday night. If Detroit pulls the upset with Matthew Stafford going back to his home area in North Texas, then the winner here will be Lambeau bound to play the Packers on Sunday. Yeah. Chris Berman Toyota halftime. We'll break down what happened in the first half with our crew. Morton Adam keeping their phones busy on all the coaching moves. And we'll preview the second game of this wild card weekend. The Ravens and the Steelers is over on NBC with Al and Chris tonight. Toyota halftime coming up momentarily.
You've been trained well, Mike.
I got a good coach, pal.
You got to rest your defensive linemen sometimes. I mean, give Charles Johnson, give these pass rushers a chance to get a drink, organize where they want to go, and get after Lindley in an obvious Hail Mary situation. But I'd be surprised if we don't see Logan Thomas. He can really throw the ball, especially this type of pass.
Do you go into the locker room with confidence both ways here after this half?
I think both teams are going to have conversations with their teams. I'm really disappointed if I'm Ron Rivera. There have been penalties, turnovers, in all three phases we've made critical mistakes.
Carolina sends 4 defenders back to the 20-yard line. 4-man rush to not maximize the time. Lindley rolls, buys, throws downfield, and it's incomplete. No flags, and the half will come to an end. So the Panthers get it to start the third. They trail by 1 as we send it back to the studio. Chris Berman and company and the Toyota halftime. Boomer.
All right, Michael, Coach, thank you very much. A much more entertaining first half than a lot of folks had suggested. Hi, everybody. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Keyshawn Johnson, Hall of Fame side with Coach Mike Ditka right now.
Notes. Gotta have notes.
Chris Carter, if you just tuned in late, good game. Carolina came out doing things in Charlotte. They ran the ball well. Jonathan Stewart, a wonderful, wonderful life. He's in the end zone, and it's going to be 10-0 Carolina. But the game changed here. Drew Butler, who frankly had a very rough half punting the ball for Arizona, but Arizona makes the break on special teams. Brenton Burson hits a fumble. Justin Bethel is a very good special team player. Arizona recovers. And then Ryan Lindley to Darren Fells. We have a ball game.
No holding back. Today, staying alive is all that matters.
Off we go with the playoffs. Carolina touchdown. Oh, it hit the return man for the Panthers. Throws over the top. And the touchdown for Darren Bell. Newton threw it away. It's an interception. First act of 4 on this wild card weekend here in Charlotte, and the Cardinals down 10-0 after 1, lead by 1. The Panthers get the ball to start the second half. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Lisa Salters down on the field. Cam Newton and his adjustments. It was a first half of some good running moments, but some poor moments throwing the ball as well.
Yeah, Arizona's given up some yardage, but on a critical third down and red zone situation, the blitzes are confusing Cam Newton. He thought it was an all-out blitz. He changed the pattern, he changed the protection, and at the top of the screen, Antonio Cromartie saw that wide split. He jumped this inside breaking route. And then in the red zone and in the red zone fringe, they are coming after Cam Newton with all-out blitzes. And his receivers and Cam Newton haven't been on the same page all the time either. Here, Rashad Johnson rings Cam Newton's bell. All-out blitzes, disguises. It's what hurt Carolina last year. Let's see what adjustments they've made coming out of the locker room.
See the numbers with Cam. Historical note, first playoff game in the last decade and a half, 15 years, where a team was down double digits after the first quarter, but led after halftime. Down 10-0 the Cardinals after one halftime lead. And the second half begins with Chandler Catanzaro kicking it deep. Burson and Whitaker are back, and neither will return. It's a touchback, and here's Lisa Salter.
Well, Mike, Ron Rivera said it's just the mistakes that are killing us. He said the ball, the punt that was touched, the miscommunication between his quarterback and his wide receiver. About Cam Newton, he said he's been making some good reads, but he's just been missing the passes. He's got to bring that ball down and make those passes. Some bad news as far as wide receiver Philly Brown goes. He is out of this game for the rest of the game with a shoulder injury. As for the Carolina Panthers, Bruce Arians says he is feeling good. When they've had opportunities, they've made them. They've scored touchdowns. They haven't had any turnovers. I asked him what he has told his punter. He said, you got to do your darn job. Relax. Don't be in a hurry. Just sit in and make the kicks.
All right, Lee. Ted Ginn, fair catch at the 8. 12 plays, no points. And Ryan Lindley, only one win as a starter in the NFL. That's his first half. His second starts after this. ESPN's NFL Wildcard Weekend brought to you by the local experts at your independent True Value. The new City Double Cash Card. And NFL Playoff Challenge. Thought your fantasy season was over? It's not. Play for free at NFL.com/fantasy. Great to be in Uptown Charlotte for our first ever NFL playoff game on ESPN. The 4 and 5 seed, the Cardinals and the Panthers, trying to advance to the Final 8 with Ryan Lindley, the third stringer for Arizona, taking over at his own 8. It's a loss of a couple for Williams. Ryan Lindley's story, San Diego State, 4-year starter, set records there. Good offensive personnel around him. 6th-round pick by the Cardinals, kept him for a few years. Then he was cut going into this preseason. So on the practice squad in San Diego, but maintained his home in Arizona. And when Carson Palmer got hurt, Lindley was having lunch with his wife in Tempe. Saw on their phone on an alert that Palmer was hurt. He went back to San Diego to be on the practice squad the next day. Signed to the active roster for the Cards, and now starting in the playoffs. It'll be good field position again for Carolina. Oregon and Ohio State. The Ducks and the Bucks for the national championship presented by AT&T. In Arlington, Texas, the home of the Cowboys, 9 nights away, Monday night, January 12th. Scintillating semifinals. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit will bring you the game for the Crystal right here on ESPN. You know when you play golf, you know when you have a partner in golf and he's struggling and you're trying to carry him? Sometimes you try to hit it too hard, you try to make a birdie, you get aggressive. I just get the sense that Arizona's partner for the defense, the offense, is kind of letting them down. They know they've got to do everything, and it seems like that weight is what's crushing this Cardinals defense the last few weeks.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson told us the same thing the other night. When you try to do too much, you see too much, you make mistakes, you take poor angles, and you pay for it.
Clock will start when whistled to play, and will be at the end of 3. Panthers score all 14 and take the lead, a quarter away from advancing in the playoffs. Well, Cam Newton has not been sacked. His team leads 27-14, but boy, has he taken some hits, especially as this game has gone on. Pressure off the edge in third down situations. That long drive to start the 30, ran for 2 first downs. He tucked it and ran, but took a hit, and then just a moment ago, stepped on his foot by Calais Campbell. ESPN's NFL Wildcard Weekend brought to you by Kevin Hart's The Wedding Ringer, in theaters January 2015. And ESPNFanshop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. The founder, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, Jerry Richardson, the first former player since George Halas to become an owner in the NFL. He played with Unitas and the Colts, the 59 title game, caught a touchdown pass. Co-chairman of the NFL's executive committee, and seeing his Panthers trying to get a playoff win after a loss at home. The NFC South has always been the division that turned over. Nobody could win back-to-back. This Panthers team, the first team to do it. You lived it. You banged your head against the NFC South for years.
These two guys, I made them a lot of money. I got fired because they ran me right out of this stadium on Monday Night Football. Shame on D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, but you can see the madness that they create when Cam Newton puts the ball in there. and keeps it, that's one thing. When he hands it, it's another. I'm impressed with the way they can run the ball from so many different alignments. Hard to defend.
It's one of the prestigious awards in the league, the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And Calais Campbell of the Cardinals and Thomas Davis of the Panthers are two of the 32 men in contention for it. Each team has one representative. It honors a player for outstanding community service activities as well as his excellence on the field, established 1970, named after the late, great Walter Payton, 1999. The NFL honors the night before the Super Bowl out in the desert. The winner will be announced. Carolina's up 13, still time here. If you're looking ahead, depends on the outcome tomorrow. If the Cowboys win, the Panthers visit the Seahawks. They played here, middle of the season. Tight game, late score by Wilson, and the Seahawks got that win. That was the week after they played Green Bay, and the Packers beat the Panthers at Lambeau. And that's where Carolina would go if Detroit goes on the road and pulls the upset in Arlington. Down. Newton is trying to get his first playoff win. It's a big playoff weekend for the guys behind you. Andy Dalton in the early game on CBS that Jim and Phil will have. He's trying to get that first win after 3 losses. Mentioned Stafford going back to his home area, Texas, and Tony Romo finally back in. Guys, when we talk about their playoff performance, this is a big weekend for these 4.
This is huge for Cam to get a big piano off your back. A lot of pressure, a lot of expectations when you're the #1 overall pick. They lost at home last year. To get that first playoff win is a huge confidence builder for any quarterback. And we'll see what happens with Dalton and Stafford and Romo later.
And Cam Newton is that close to his first ever playoff win. And a chance to add that to his resume that we talked about at the very top of the game with national championship, junior college, and at Auburn, the Heisman Trophy, the #1 overall pick. And what a boost going forward, because as you said, that's kind of gives you that next level of you belong in the. I know Arizona played a terrible offensive game, but still doesn't take away from winning a playoff game.
No, it doesn't. And you get a lot of credibility amongst your teammates, in your organization, the town you live in. You get a lot of critics off your back when you can win a playoff game. And I don't know if Arizona was as bad as it looked. You got to get credit to Carolina's defense. I saw Carolina do it to Matt Ryan last week. I saw him do it to Drew Brees. And they did against those teams on the road.
Yards and might end up being the fewest yards ever in a playoff game, and a fitting end to this one.
Thomas Davis made 5 tackles on the same play, Mike. I'm not kidding you. What a game.
Carolina advances. Here's Lisa Salters.
Thank you, Mike. Cam, your head coach told you guys that you needed to prove that you deserved to be in the playoffs. What did you show on offense and defense tonight?
Well, it wasn't pretty at times, but I can tell you what, we had a hell of a speech from our head trainer last night to motivate the team. And it was simply our team motto is keep pounding through the good, through the bad, and that's what we did today, man. Hell of a job, and our hats off goes to the defense. They gave us a lot of opportunities that you won't get with a random defense. So, and offensively, we just got to be better. We showed flashes of doing great things, but we got to be more solid going into Seattle.
We know about your bumps and bruises, and yet you continue to run, continue to take big hits. It looked like you were grimacing at times. How does your body feel?
It's the playoffs. Leave it all on the field. Either win or go home. And I told my teammates and the coach staff that no matter what, hell or high water, I'm going to give them everything I got, and that's what I try to show today.
You talked about playing better. You were off on some throws. How do you clean that up moving forward in the playoffs?
It's just about trusting the pocket and trusting coach. And, it's the things that I feel like mechanically I just got to go up under the hood and change as far as feet work or whatnot. But a good week of practice to do that.
Congratulations on your first playoff win, and good luck moving forward.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Cam said against Seattle, Lisa, that's not guaranteed yet. That's if Dallas wins. If Detroit wins, the Panthers would go to Lambeau and Green Bay. That last play, by the way, all those laterals dropped 20 yards, means the Cardinals had 77 net yards, the fewest yards by a team in the history of the NFL playoffs. With John Gruden, Lisa Salters, our great team, Mike Tirico, post-game coverage before the kickoff of Pittsburgh-Baltimore right here on the GMC postgame on SportsCenter. We say so long from Charlotte, where the Panthers eliminate the Cardinals.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
This is SportsCenter Live.
Hi, welcome inside SportsCenter with Lindsay Czarniak. I'm Robert Flores. The Carolina Panthers, on the heels of their win just moments ago over the Arizona Cardinals, they will either get the Green Bay Packers or the Seattle Seahawks in the next round.
And for the second year in a row, we will see the Panthers in the divisional round of the playoffs. The Cardinals could not get anything going offensively right now. We toss it to Steve Levy and company in Charlotte for the GMC postgame reports.
All right, thank you. As if on cue, the skies have opened up here in Charlotte. Bank of America Stadium has seen its last football game of the season. But the Panthers aren't done. No, no, no. The Panthers will play on, live on to fight another day. They will travel on the road for the next round of the playoffs. And with that, we say good evening and welcome, everyone. So look, there's not enough pancake makeup in the world to make this a pretty football game, okay? We know that. But for Carolina, they're sick of talking about their regular season record, a losing record. They're still division champs in the regular season, and they just want a playoff game.
Well, when they were a formidable opponent last year, the narrative was for the Carolina Panthers, ferocious defense up front, running game, and Cam not being in the spotlight, playing on the fringes and making big plays in the fourth quarter and winning big ball games. So if you say, how far can these guys go? This is the narrative that works for the Carolina Panthers, and you showed again today.
It's dominant football on the defensive side of the ball. And we'll let the defensive expert get more into it. But the ability for the front seven of the Carolina Panthers to completely...
Well, they have the formula to play Seattle tough.
But the only thing is, Coach, they cannot play sloppy football like they played today against